Very much, Madam Press Secretary, my fellow citizens and residents, blessings on you. Tonight we continue our national conversation and our efforts to deliver the stronger and safer future you deserve. I do believe that working together, we can confront our difficulties, find solutions to our problems, and unleash our best efforts to the task of nation building. Our successful efforts to minimize the consequences of COVID-19 on our health sector is testament to what can happen when an all-of-society approach is adopted. Together we succeeded in avoiding deaths, in avoiding the overwhelming of our health system, and the containment of the virus for some 70+ days, or at least 5 incubation periods, the best record I am advised in the OECS and within the region. The stronger future we deliver will involve a healthy, productive people, advancing the tasks of nation building through their engagement at work, at home, at play, and in every area of socioeconomic activity. A strong economy, of course, must produce jobs for our people who are willing and able to work. A strong economy grows at a consistent level year on, year in, and it provides an opportunity for our people. A strong economy provides goods and services, and it creates low to moderate inflation. A strong economy is fueled by the right fiscal and monetary policies. Our stimulus package is the output of very strong fiscal management and discipline. Before COVID-19, our beloved country of St. Kitts and Nevis was doing quite well. The economy grew modestly year after year. Inflation was contained and was recorded as very low. Total wages increased year after year, reaching a peak of over $1 billion in 2018, the highest level of wages paid in our country since the inception of Social Security. In 2014, for example, the economy recorded $791 million in wages. Total wages, therefore, increased over the comparative period 2014 to 2018 by a significant 27%. A clear positive sign of the economy growing and inclusiveness of the economy is reflected in the historic large number of business licenses issued as more people got in the formal economy and more people were encouraged to try their hand at business. Business licenses issued each year under Team Unity to a record high of 659 in 2019, the largest on record, and more people were put to work. In 2014, Social Security recorded that they had 26,958 contributors. By contrast, by 2019, that figure had increased to a significant 29,986 contributors, more than an 11% increase. In 2014, Social Security registered 982 self-employed persons. By 2019, the figure had grown by some 36% to 1,339 registered self-employed persons. COVID-19 therefore came, and it came in the first instance as a health pandemic and did significant destabilization of our economy and our lives. While it is still true that COVID-19 expresses itself as a health pandemic, it has morphed over time into something arguably much more insidious and egregious, a destabilizing economic recession in the midst of the health pandemic. Its consequences on the global health sector and global economies are far-reaching and very harmful. St. Kitts and Nevis, thanks to the excellent advice of our health experts and our officials at the NEOC, has been able to manage the health pandemic in a commendable way that draws the recognition and respect of the rest of the international community. We aim in St. Kitts and Nevis to be a model country in the careful way in which we open up our borders, not today nor next week, but in the months ahead. As we continue the hard work of opening up our economy, we will increase job prospects, we will give people more choices, and we will create more opportunities for new activities, new services, and of course, new jobs. We have, in an orderly manner, put about 80% of our employees in our manufacturing sector back to work. In a few months, we expect to have over 90% of those employees at work when Jaro Electronics manages to better retrofit its workplace to allow most, if not all, of its 300 workers back on the job. Our attention is now focused to restoring our health sector back to near normalcy during the last quarter of 2020. We have been working to put the necessary health protocols in place, and we have prioritized a number of areas for action: retrofitting our air and supports, training and educating taxi and tour operators so they can be certified as COVID compliant, establishing protocols for health workers and for employees at our hotels and their guests. To the extent that the hotel sector relies on visitors and guests, the most of whom are from regional and international jurisdictions, the Caribbean, for example, the United States of America, and Canada. We want to be ready to receive them. And we know we will have to assume some level of risk in opening up our borders, and we will be insisting on some very strict protocols to be followed. Yesterday, our cabinet heard from two of our best-known health professionals, Dr. Hazel Laws, our Chief Medical Officer, and Dr. Cameron Wilkinson, the Medical Chief of Staff. Let me, on behalf of our country, say a big thank you to Drs. Laws and Wilkinson, who have inspired so many of us with their spectacular service, their discipline, perseverance, commitment, and patriotism to this, their land of birth. Finer citizens no nation has ever seen. Dr. Wilkinson will address some of the protocols that have to be put in place as we ready ourselves for an increasingly larger influx of visitors to our shores. I suspect he may look too at some challenges and opportunities. This, for us, is an important conversation. During the course of the day today, I had the opportunity to converse with over 600 hotel employees, John from the Royal St. Kitts Hotel, formerly Draktar, and the Marriott Hotel, and to have a face-to-face conversation about the prospects of opening up and about other working conditions that impact them. It was a very important dialogue. Tonight, in the spirit of good governance, in the spirit of accountability, I have come again to speak directly to you. And I want to thank all of you for tuning in. In closing my opening remarks, I say to the country that our health professionals have given us excellent advice so far. So let us not get anxious. We are not followers in St. Kitts and Nevis. We are thoughtful leaders. And we will not be rushed into following the actions of others. We will march to our own drumbeat here, determining the level of risk we want to assume. Clearly, we shall minimize the risk of overwhelming our health system, the risk of our people dying, the risk of more cases, etc., and what the consequences of these mean for our way of life. I want to encourage everyone to protect himself or herself. You can do this by continuing to observe and comply with the advice that has been given so repeatedly by the health professionals. Please wear your mask, especially in public. Practice good hand hygiene. Boost and improve your immune system. Practice social distancing. Stay strong and have faith in God. We can make it to the stronger and safer future, working together in an all-of-society approach. We need our citizens and residents to walk with us and cooperate with us as we take St. Kitts and Nevis to the Garden of Eden. I take pleasure now inviting Dr. Wilkerson to deliver his opening remarks and to thank him for making time at such a time like this to be available to the public via the multimedia that we are using tonight.